Okay, so I had visions of grandeur, big dreams of making a video for you guys on Saturday or Sunday. But then the harsh reality of knowing it was my last ever weekend as a resident of New York City hit me right here in the heart. Before the family and I moved to San Francisco, so it made it impossible for me to do it. I just had to enjoy one of my favorite cities in the whole entire world with the loves of my life one last time before we go. But today is Monday, and Monday means it's time for the weekend in rewind, or as I like to call it, word. Though, as some Warmballers in Seattle this past week said to me, they loved the premise of the show, but hated the name. Come on, fellas. It's clever. It's weekend in rewind. Word. So here's what caught my eye over the last few days. This dude calling me an amateur over my interviews with the Red Bulls and NYCFC. And here is my dramatic voiceover reenactment of our interaction before he ended up deleting his replies. What a hero. Who is this clown? No one of consequence. I've been in the sports TV business for 20 years and have never seen something so amateur. Keep going. This is great. Now, I would love to have you all tweet at him to get him even more wound up about things, but he's not worth our time. Also, he just doesn't have a big enough following to have a proper beef with. I mean, I gotta get under the skin of somebody much, much bigger. So who do you guys suggest? Also, in case you missed it, NYCFC did the business on the road 2-0, which is their second ever win out of 8 games in the Derby and their first ever at Red Bull Arena, and they deserved it. They were easily the better team through the 90 minutes, but I do find it odd that Red Bull's manager Jesse Marsch was gone all week before this game in Europe to continue working towards getting his UEFA coaching badges instead of preparing his team for one of the biggest games of their season. I mean, honestly, what kind of message does that send to his team? No, actually, don't answer that. I'm gonna tell you. The message is, I, Jesse Marsch, am more important than you, my players. Now, I think Jesse's a great guy and an excellent coach, though I feel like he should have never gotten rid of their captain, Dax McCarty, in this past offseason to the Chicago Fire, because their former captain, Dax McCarty, is just the type of player that the Red Bulls need right now. So whether he likes it or not, that's the subliminal or overt message that Jesse is sending to his team. And the Confederations Cup semifinals are going to be lit, fam. Leg dab. Leg. See that? Look at me, yeah. Look at me. It's gonna be lit, fam. Germany is taking on Mexico and Portugal is taking on Chile. And I still can't believe that I didn't think that Chile was gonna make it to the semifinals. Germany and Cameroon are going to get out of Group B, and then Portugal's gonna beat Cameroon in one semifinal. That's just poor form. I mean, I thought Cameroon had the feel-good vibes going after the surprise win at the Africa Cup of Nations, and I didn't think that Chile, who have won major competitions for 2 straight summers, could do it again for a third straight. I just didn't. I mean, I was playing the odds, right? The odds. And now I'm no longer gonna play the odds because f the odds. So I'm strictly going with my gut from here on out. And my gut says, I'm hungry actually. I'll be right back. Also, here's some fun facts from the Confederations Cup that I think you should know about. 1, Germany have now reached the knockout stages of their last 8 major tournaments, and let's just make it 9. Because they will definitely be getting out of their group in the World Cup. 2, with his goal against New Zealand, Cristiano Ronaldo has now scored 75 goals for his country, and only 1 player has scored more for a European country. That's Puskás. He had 84 for Hungary. But we all know Ronaldo is not gonna retire until he surpasses that record. I got something in my teeth. Number 3, Alexis Sanchez scored his 38th goal for Chile, making him the highest scorer in his country's history. It's a pretty big deal. Way to go. Now you're gonna go to Bayern Munich yet, or what? And number 4, Mexico's Rafa Marquez. He made his first Confederations Cup appearance since 2005, which set a new record for the most years between consecutive matches. 12 years. Wow, that guy's a legend. So my predictions for the semifinals? I don't even remember what I said during my preview. Portugal's gonna beat Cameroon in one semifinal. Mexico's gonna lose to Germany in penalties. Ah, yes! Portugal is gonna have to now beat Chile instead of Cameroon, which I think they're gonna do, but I'm not going to count Chile out, because I feel like every time I do that, they win. And despite Mexico coming back twice to win games in the group stages, they haven't been playing all that well, and I expect Germany to beat them. Also, I meant to do this on Friday, but I want to give a shout out to my friend Guillermo Barros Scalotto, who managed Boca Juniors to their 32nd league title in Argentina, which leaves them 4 behind their hated rivals, River Plate, who have 36. That's a lot to make up. 4, and River Plate's really good, but I don't really, I mean, I do care because I'm a Boca fan, but I want Scalotto to come into MLS. I heard he might get the LAFC job, and I think that's the right decision for both parties, so do it. I'd love to see him back in the league. He's one of the best players I ever played against. And hold up, I got some more shout outs coming, and the first one's for the women of Santa Fe in Colombia for winning the first trophy in that club's history, either men or women, and it was done in front of 33,000 people, because that's what's up. And the next one goes to Libertad for winning the Torneo Apertura in Paraguay. Paraguay. And to Bolivar, who won their 21st league title in Bolivia. And I just love me some South American football or fuchiball, which means I can't wait for their Champions League of their continent, the Copa Libertadores, to start their knockout rounds next week. And I should probably do a preview on that. You guys want to see a preview of that? Also, can we talk about Manchester United being linked to every midfielder that has a pulse? Hey, are you alive? Yeah, I'm alive. Do you want to play for United? Yeah, think about it. Though it seems like Chelsea's Nemanja Matic might be the guy sharing some defensive midfielder responsibilities for the Red Devils if Chelsea end up buying Timu, so sorry. Bakayoko from Monaco, because the Blues would then have Bakayoko and N'Golo Kante, and that is more than enough in that area of the field for any team if you got those 2 guys. But if that falls through, I know they're working hard to get Fabinho from Monaco, or Nainggolan from Roma, and even, I just heard this, James Rodriguez from Real Madrid. Though I don't always know what's true, there's just so many rumors flying around. So it's almost like Mourinho just wants to nab some great midfielders and then figure out where they fit in later, because if they get a player like James, for example, who makes way for him in the starting lineup? I don't know. But I will say this, when James is on his game, I really feel like he's better than Mkhitaryan and Ander Herrera and Juan Mata and Wayne Rooney and whoever else is playing underneath. So don't at me. You know it's true. And because I know you're dying to know, I think Nainggolan would be a better fit than Matic. Because United is missing some bite in midfield and Nainggolan is all bite. But Matic sits a little more than Nainggolan, who had 11 goals and 5 assists in Serie A last season, and Fabinho, who had 9 goals in Ligue 1, even though I feel like a few of those were penalties. And United's gonna want whatever player they buy to sit so that Pogba can attack with more freedom. So they've got a lot of decisions to make and a lot of money to spend. They're gonna have to spend a lot of money. Also, great news! After 17 goals in 28 games and only 3 red cards, and helping his club to their best finish in 41 years, the resurgent Mario Balotelli is staying with Nice, and that is nice. And I hope he continues to be a positive influence. And did you guys see this? The Gold Cup roster for the US men's national team is upon us, and I am a fan despite the fact that they're not gonna have some names that people are familiar with, like Clint Dempsey and Christian Pulisic and Tim Howard, and that's okay. This is a Gold Cup where we can try things. Because one of these guys, and I'm not sure who yet, is gonna make the World Cup roster next summer. Someone that you don't think should, but will. And I say this because I'm speaking from experience. I played in my first games for the US under current manager Bruce Arena in the 2005 Gold Cup. And as US Soccer correctly noted, the Gold Cup is a springboard for players to make the World Cup roster the following year. And I remember telling myself at that time that if I could become a player that Bruce could trust in a tournament format, not just a one-off World Cup qualifier, but over a 3-week span, where I'm always ready when they need me, that I'm a good teammate when I'm not playing, then maybe he would pick me for the World Cup team. And I ended up playing in 5 out of 6 games in this Gold Cup, which we won. And I missed a sitter in the final. We don't really need to talk about it because we won it in penalties. And I was playing in a World Cup a year later, so I was right. The mentality that I had was exactly right. So I expect someone like me back in the day to sneak onto the team and make a difference. And my money is on Toronto FC's Justin Morrow, because even though I'm a fan of our current left backs, Jorge Villafaña and DeMarcus Beasley, gotta love Bees. I mean, he's been doing it for so long. I think Morrow could overtake them if he plays to the top of his ability. He's 28 or 29. He knows it's now or never. He's gonna have that hunger that I think you need to have, just like I had. And I just think there's a lot of comparable stuff there, and I think there's a little bit of a void in that position. I could see him doing it. And then finally, for your viewing pleasure, please enjoy fans fighting each other on the field at halftime of a Pumas Club America Legends game in Southern California. All right, that is it. That is all I got, except for this. Career mode drops tomorrow, so you're welcome, suckers. Later.